I was like, well, just switch to USAA. You're not getting it. That's still my insurance credit. Like, I'm like, you're right. I'm gonna just switch, but I gotta figure out, who will be the better fit for us. Cause at this point, USAA was a little bit expensive. Like, they wanted a little bit much for 3 cars full coverage. Well, 2 cars full coverage and liability on the 2005 Dodge truck. Cause I'm just like, at this point, we're not even driving it like that. He's actually been loaning out the truck to his friends, and the GPS on the truck, of course, he didn't move that GPS to the new truck, so it stayed on the old truck. So I'm just like, we really don't need full coverage on this truck, liability. Okay, so I was like, I gotta figure out an insurance company that'll do that. And then now I have this accident on my insurance record. It's not like on my driving record because I didn't have the accident, but it's on the insurance record that the insurance had to pay for this because it's a rental, and now you owe them. So yeah, let me figure that out. And then but we're gonna have different insurance. We're gonna have to get different insurance because Progressive had bumped our insurance up to $560. Like, we was already paying $4. Now they done bumped it up to $560. I'm like, nah, that's almost the truck payment. His truck payment was $680. So yeah, I'm like, no, all right, I'll work on that. So a couple of days go by, and D comes to the house. He gets off, and everything's done. The kids are upstairs sleeping. D gets home, sit on the sofa. I give him his food. He already done smoked. And I'm just like, all right, I'm going in the room. I go in the room, and next thing you know, I hear D like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, who the fuck is he talking to? All the kids asleep. Like, who the fuck is he talking to? He was just like, I'm like, I'm gonna wait a minute. Like, I'm gonna just wait a while. And then I hear, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, who the fuck is talking? Like, who's, I don't hear anybody at this point except his big ass. So I get up and I walk out. I'm like, everything okay? I'm looking in the living room. And D was looking down at his phone. And I'm like, D, everything good? He was like, them kids not fucking sleep. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go upstairs and tell him to go to sleep. He's like, no, I'm handling it. I'm like, well, who's not asleep? He was like, King fuck ass and I ain't sleep. And I was just like, oh, well, King was a little bit excited today because they have like a music concert coming up at school. So he was telling me about it. It's like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. His ass need to be fucking asleep. Why the fuck he up there laughing and giggling? He. And I'm just like, is he watching TV? He was like, no, he's just laughing to himself. I'm just like, is Kion up with him? Because King and Kion shared a room. He was like, Kion's in his bed, and I keep telling Kion to get out of his bed. And King's stupid ass don't need to be letting Kion in his bed because why are they in the bed together? They don't need to be in the bed together cuddling and shit. I'm like, well, Kion goes in King's bed when he gets scared because Kion doesn't like to sleep by himself. He was like, but that's still some gay shit. They don't need to be doing that. They don't need to think that that's okay to do. Like, no, Kion stay his fucking ass in his bed, and King need to shut the fuck up. I'm like, okay, I'll go and I'll handle it. All right, I'll handle it. So I go upstairs, and I'm just like, I knock on the door because like I said, I always try to give them that little bit of privacy, even though I'm a barge in anyway. I'm like not letting them know I'm coming. So I knock on the door, and when I open the door, King tried to make it seem like he was laying down asleep. And I was like, King, I need you to go to sleep, okay? He was like, okay, Mom. I was like, okay, lay down. And then I heard that click that Jackson was talking about on the cameras. The first time I actually heard it. And then I heard it, and I'm like, you watching the camera, then watch what I say. So I'm just like, all right, just go to bed, okay? Go to sleep. He was like, okay. And I walked out, went back downstairs. I'm like, he should be good now. Everything should be fine. I go back in the room. When I go back in the room, I hear these like, man, fuck this. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I hear him stomping up the stairs. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like what the fuck? So I run out the room to run up the stairs. And I'm like, D, what happened? He was like, no, I told this little nigga to sit the fuck down. You just went up here and told him to go to sleep. And he's still in here fucking playing. Like, D, he's fine. Like, he's fine. Just come back downstairs. I'm going to tell him to be quiet again. And just come back. He's like, no, you shouldn't have to keep repeating yourself to this little nigga. I'm like, D, like I said, he's excited. All right, that's like the first day of school. It's not the first day of school, but it's like the feeling of the first day of school. You're just excited. He's excited, okay? I got him. Like, I got him. And he's like, you better handle this shit. I'm like, I got it. Like, I got it. So, D go back downstairs. I knock on the door. I was like, King, I really need you to go to sleep, okay? So I walk over to him, and I sit down on the bed. I'm like, look, I know you're excited about the music concert. I get it. I know. But I need you to go to sleep, you know, because in order for you to get big and strong, you have to go to sleep. So, King, go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Lay down. Go to sleep. He's like, okay, Mom. And he laid down. And I was like, please, just go to sleep, okay? I get you're excited. But please just go to sleep. And then I hear that click again. I'm like, okay. He's watching. So I kiss King on the forehead, rubbed his hair, and was like, go to sleep, okay? All right, we're going to see you in the morning. And I walk out. Go downstairs, and they look at me. He's like, you always doing that soft-ass shit. And I'm like, what? Like, I literally just told you this nigga up there not sleeping. He not listening to you. And you sitting up there caressing his ass. And I was like, I was just letting him know, you know, like, to calm down. And I understand that he's excited, but to calm down and go to sleep. That was my way of trying to calm him down. He was like, no, that's your way of fucking babying him. And that's all you fucking do with these goddamn boys. You fucking baby them. And I'm like, okay, well, he gonna stay asleep. Well, he gonna be asleep, okay? He gonna be asleep. And I was like, I'm about to go back in the room. I started walking back in the room. I got in the room, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave the door open. I'm not gonna close it. I go lay down on the bed. And when I lay on the bed, I pull up the camera to King's room to kind of like watch him. So I'm like, apparently D's watching him on the camera. So let me watch him on the camera too. And that way, if I'm watching him on the camera footage is being recorded. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just watch the camera. So about 5 minutes go by. And I lay the phone beside me with the volume turned a little bit so I can like hear if I hear King talking or, you know, or laughing or anything. So the phone is sitting beside me. And next thing you know, I heard it was like a soft little giggle. Like one of those giggles you wouldn't hear unless you are looking at the camera. Because that was my whole thing. I'm like, he keeps saying King's up there laughing and, you know, playing. But I wasn't hearing anything in my room. And we're on the second floor. King and Kion and Jackson's room are on the third floor. We're on the second floor. And I'm not hearing anything. So I'm just like, that little giggle, like, you wouldn't even hear the giggle if you weren't looking at the camera. So I look down at the camera, and I'm just like, I need to tell him to be quiet. But if I tell him to be quiet, I know D looking at the camera, and he gonna know that I'm looking at the camera. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna, I'm gonna figure something out. So another minute or so went by, and I hear D get up off the sofa. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? So I get off the camera to King's room, and I look at the camera for the living room and the kitchen. The camera for the living room was unplugged because it said offline, but the camera for the kitchen was still plugged in, and I could like see the sofa where he was sitting. So I'm watching, and D is making his way upstairs. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I get off the living room camera, the kitchen camera, cut on King Kion's camera, because I'm just like, he got to be going up to King Kion's room because Jackson's asleep. So I cut on King Kion's camera, and sure enough, the door to King and Kion's room open.